Maisara Caverns is known to be a very difficult dungeon, especially for tanks. You have so many routes, so many open spaces, and so many packs you can pull. It's also very easy to pull additional adds by accident if you're not careful enough, as there's not really much room between all of the packs in this dungeon as well. In this video, I will be showing you the easiest and most efficient route for every pack, no matter what keystone level, and give you an easier time in this dungeon. I will explain what the mobs do and which mobs to look out for when you're pulling, and if you're a tank, how to pull them as well. I discovered this route yesterday on my stream on twitch.tv/Varian. A viewer named Qdums helped me out as I was once again dreading going into yet another Maisara Caverns run, and he decided to hook me up with this route. So shout out to you, my guy. At the time of this video's release, I will also be live on Twitch and here on my YouTube channel. So once you're done with the video, hop into chat and let me know what you think of this route or how helpful it was for you if you already tried it. Alright, without further ado, let's jump straight in. Alright, so this route focuses on the most optimal route without having to do many dangerous pulls and getting the best buffs out of the dungeon. If you don't know what buffs I'm talking about, don't worry, I'll explain them when we get there. Okay, so you start here, and the second the dungeon starts, these four mobs are going to run towards you. It is probably helpful to ask your team to not touch anything in the first few seconds until you gather the mobs, because these are really hard to tag, especially if you don't have like big AoE abilities like, I don't know, Sigil from Vengeance Demon Hunters, and you will have to grab these two's aggros and then these two's aggros, so this will need a little bit of time. Once you gathered those, I would recommend you going this way, grabbing these three bears, these two adds, and then these two will probably already be rotating away from you. That's completely fine. You just move on to the Dread Soul Eater, and once these come back, you just grab them or taunt them, whatever you want to do. And yeah, that's basically the first pull. This is the pull where you also bloodlust. Just blow everything up as much as you can. Okay, so once you gathered all these mobs, there's realistically only two mobs you have to look out for. One is the Headhunter and the other one is the Soul Eater. The Headhunter is going to occasionally jump away from the group and cast Hooked Snare, which just flings a net and roots the target for a few seconds and inflicts damage over time. This is very important to kick, as if you don't, she will just snare you and then stay there and throw spears at you until she eventually just walks back in. Just make sure you have someone on kick duty, and she's going to be walking right back into your group. Then we have the Dread Soul Eaters. These just do massive damage. Just make sure your healer has enough heals and out heal it. This is most likely the easiest pull of the run, especially with Bloodlust. And the reason why we're doing this, not this one, is pretty simple. This pack also has a Headhunter, so you would have to kick two of these mobs, which is kind of annoying, especially when they jump away at the same time. And then you have the Hulking Juggernaut. In this route, we are trying to avoid as many big mobs as possible. There's one Juggernaut we have to pull, and there's later on another big mob that we have to pull, unfortunately, but that's completely fine. We are trying to avoid as many as possible though. These Juggernauts hurt extremely hard. They have AoE Raw, which just stops casts, first of all, so if you're not careful enough, your healer might get silenced, and deals massive damage, especially in hierarchies. So just don't pull these if you can, and this is also the reason why we're going this way. Don't worry, we're not going the right way. We are now going to squeeze ourselves right through here. You won't pull any of these, honestly, realistically, if you're not stupid. So keep your distance from the bears and this pack, and you should be good to go. Once you pass them, just pull these tiki masks or the voodoo masks, whatever you want to call them, and these Maya laborers. And then there's going to be two casters on top of the hut, or like on the outside of the hut. If you have two casters or two ranged kicks, it would be helpful if you could assign two people to kick them, or if they are like smart enough to kick them. Otherwise, you would have to run up the ramp, kick one of them, the other one also has to be kicked, and then they will be, and then you just pull them back down here and tank them right where the Maya laborers are. Make sure no one is standing here, because these will get pulled otherwise, and that's about it. The Hex Guardian, so the big voodoo mask, is occasionally going to start a Magma Surge, which is a directed frontal line towards a player, a random player. You can't really decide it. So if you see the mob casting this spell, it's a 3-second spell, you have in plenty time to see it. Once you see it, just make sure you get out of the frontal's way, otherwise it will blow you up, most likely, especially in hierarchies. Just dodge it, make sure to kick the Hexer, and you're good to go. Alright, third pull. Now this is the dangerous one. You pull these three. You pull the big Juggernaut, so your healer will have to use big heals for this pull. Then you pull these, go right into the hut, tank them in the hut, and then you pull either one of those. It is really easy to pull both of them, It's not the end of the world, honestly. They don't have much health. They just flop over, honestly. Just make sure the Juggernaut is your main target. This has to die as quickly as possible. This is the most dangerous mob in this entire area. So make sure it's dead before you go about doing anything else. Once you kill them, you can click on the stew, which is right in the middle of the hut, which will give you a 3% leech and reduce damage taken for 3% for 30 minutes. And this won't be removed if you die. So make sure you always click the stew in the middle. It's just a free buff, honestly, and it's gonna last you the entire dungeon. Once that's done, you walk right here this way, and then you pull these two. Once again, another Hexer. Just make sure to kick that one. Then you pick up the bird and another Hexer. And then you will pull the mob that's patrolling from all the way to the left to all the way to the right. There is one mob that you will see that's patrolling around. You don't have to pull it instantly, but just pull that one. Otherwise, you won't be able to skip the packs right here. Kick the Hexers, and for the Hexbound Eagle, this mob will occasionally jump onto another player and start slashing it. They won't be able to get away from the mob. So once they jump onto the player, just make sure to CC it in some way. Any CC goes, honestly. I think you can use Mortal Coil, you can use Ring of Peace on Monk. Anything goes. It's a 5-second cast, and it is gonna shred whoever he targets. So if it is the healer, just definitely make sure to kick that one. Otherwise, your healer will blow up, most likely, especially in hierarchies. Okay. Now, once we've killed all of these packs and this area is free, you will just squeeze yourself through here, dodge these two. I think they patrol around, so these shouldn't be that hard to dodge. Otherwise, you just go around. You pull these. These three are inside the little hut. Pull another pack of the Tiki masks or the voodoo masks. Once again, make sure to dodge the frontal of the Hex Guardian. Otherwise, this is not a dangerous pull. This is really easy, really small mobs, really small HP pool. Once this pack is reduced in size, you just move them over to the Shadowbinders. These don't do much except put a shrink on you, which is a damage over time. You can kick it. You should kick it. If it goes through, just make sure you don't touch anyone. Otherwise, you will be stunned for 4 seconds. Just dodge it, and there will also be purple puddles on the floor. Dodge them. Really easy, and then you move on. All right, once that's dead, you move on to the next pack, which kind of confused me at first because I wasn't really sure what these are. These are patrolling around this road. In your best case scenario, these are already here where they are displayed on the Mythic Dungeon Tools map. You pull these, and then you chain them into these ones. Another Soul Eater, a Shadowbinder, and a Hexer. This is a very dangerous pull. Just always make sure you have a kick on the Hexer and a kick on the Shadowbinders. Soul Eaters, you will just have to tank, and the best part about it is these voodoo masks don't have the big guy, so there's no frontal. These are just HP sponges. Kill the pack, and then you don't go to the boss yet. You pull these two bears. They are always sleeping here. They don't patrol. They just lay there, do nothing. You just aggro them by taunting them or by throwing an ability on them. Just make sure you don't lose aggro on them on the way towards the boss. We will chain these into the boss. They don't, as I said, don't do that much. Just give great score, and you don't have to worry about them whatsoever. They will just die in the time we are done with the boss. With this boss, I already put out a hidden and secret tips and tricks video about Mythic Plus mechanics. If you haven't watched it yet, go do it. There are tons of Maisara Caverns tips. All right, now the next pull is another Bloodlust pull. Now, why are we spending all our Bloodlusts on random trash? Efficiency. All right. Once you get here around this area, these mobs will start spawning. You can either wait until they aligned and stand still where they are supposed to stand still, or you can just run ahead and start pulling them as they run towards you. These are really easy to pull, not as hard as these four. So pull this one, pull these ones, and then that's not it. We pulled these ones, and we pulled the mini boss. And you always tank them in front of the altar. There's an altar where the mini boss is. You just always tank them there. This pack is really difficult to group up. There's a lot of casters. There's a lot of annoying things happening here. You have about 4 casters, all of them casting Spirit Red. It won't one-shot you, but it will obviously deal damage and hurt you a little bit. Just make sure you always kick them as much as you can so they run towards you, and then you're completely fine. If it doesn't happen, honestly, completely fine. They don't have that much HP. You can just run over to them later on, or if you're a Death Knight or you have a Death Knight, ask them to grip them in. Otherwise, just always make sure to kick them just so they are in the pack as well. This mini boss honestly doesn't do much, and all it does is an occasional ritual sacrifice where it will pick a random player, not the tank, put them on the altar, stunning them, and if you don't kill the spiritual thing above the player, they will eventually die. Now, there is a trick you can do here, which is use any movement impair removal ability here. So Tiger's Lust, Freedom from Paladins. I think Sprint also works on rogues. Blink should also work on mages and those types of things. That's also why you tank all the ads in front of the altar, so you are in range to use those abilities on the target. Other than that, he will also occasionally cast an Umbral Vortex, which is a small area which will try to pull you inside of it, so always just run against it. Isn't a strong pull, just a little bit annoying, but that's about it. Once this pack is dead, you just go over here, pull the Tormented Shades, another pack of casters, but only 2 this time, and then go over to the Round Defender. You can't really avoid this big pack, so you have to pull it unless you want to do some cloak tech or like invisibility skip stuff, but we are in a pack group, so we don't do that here. Takes a little bit because this guy has a lot of health, but once that's dead, you just pull the Soul Render, and if you're a tank, just make sure to kick it so it moves with you. Pull the Skirmishes, and then this pack as well. This pack patrols all the way down the stairs and then back up to around this spot. They will most likely be here because they linger around here for a while, so when they are here, just pull them too. Make sure to assign someone to kick the shade, because if you get too close to these, you will also pull the Bound Defender, and we don't want that. Just make sure to tank it on the wall right here, so this guy can't be pulled or aggroed by accident. Make sure your team doesn't like do some stupid stuff and run around here, and just deal damage, kill the pack, and that's about it. Then you squeeze your way all the way through the wall. So you, as I said, don't pull this guy. This guy also patrols around here, so you don't pull this guy. You then pull these 4, these 2, and then go over to the Restless Gnarlden. This is kind of a mini boss, kind of, not really. This guy just smashes the floor occasionally and then leaves behind a big puddle. Just make sure to space them out effectively. So if a puddle spawns right here, you just tank it here, you just tank it right here until another puddle spawns, and then you kite him basically all the way towards the wall. By the time it is on the wall, this pack is already dead, so once that's done, dodge the defender again, because we don't want to pull as many big mobs here. Just go this way, hug the wall, and pull the reanimated warriors. Move down the stairs, pull these. You can't avoid these, unfortunately. And then you also pull these reanimated warriors. By the way, for all the reanimated warriors in this entire dungeon, they will try to reanimate once they get to 1 HP. To prevent that, you have to kick it or CC it in any type of way. So just if you can, get them down to 1 HP altogether, and then do a big AoE CC like a Ring of Peace, and then they are gone. Just don't forget about that mechanic though. Alright. Now this pack is kind of dangerous and annoying. In hierarchies it's dangerous, and in any key level it's kind of annoying. This guy is the same guy as before, the Soul Render, which just casts spells all the time and Frost Nova's the target and stuff. Just big annoying stuff. And this guy, the Bound Defender, who casts 2 Soul Storms, which are like 2 little tornadoes which move around the area a little bit, and it is really easy to get hit by them. They are not really that fast, but when you're trying to focus on all the mobs at once, trying to kick stuff and so on, you might get hit by them. It's just really annoying pull, but we have to get through it. Don't pull the boss yet. We don't want to do that yet. And then pick up the Skirmishers, pick up these 2. They patrol around. If they are not here yet, don't worry. They will be here by the time you pulled everything together. And then you pull this pack with the Hexa in it. Same Hexa as before. Just make sure to kick the Hex. And just kill these ads and move on. Before we go into the boss now, we pull these 2 for extra count. They don't do much. Reanimated warriors, once again, low HP, just reanimate, just kick them. There's no kick that you have to worry about in this on this boss, so you can just use your kicks on the reanimate ability. You pull these 2 and chain them into the boss. Always make sure to not pop all four spirits at once. If you do that, you might blow up your entire team if you're not careful enough, especially in hierarchies. Oh, by the way, you can Bloodlust here. It really depends, but most of the player base nowadays Bloodlusts the last boss after the intermission phase. So if your team or if your group decides to Bloodlust here, completely fine, but I would prefer a Bloodlust on the last boss. Okay, now the boss is dead. we then move on to this pack. 2 casters, the shades that use the spirit rend ability. Make sure there's always a kick on them. And then there will be bats patrolling around this entire area. These are really annoying to pull on a tank, especially if you don't have long range. So once they are like really close to the wall, you just pull them. Make sure to hit both of them. Sometimes you only pull one of these because they are not chained together, like it's displayed here. I somehow managed to pull one of them a few times. So always make sure to attack both of them with an ability, and then you're fine. Kill the ads, move on to the next. Same ads, just a little bit smaller. 2 shades again, make sure to kick them. You then pull one of the defenders, and that's it. You are on 100% clean, but you have to kill this mini boss kind of guy. Doesn't have a lot of HP, but deals massive AoE damage. So just blast him down as fast as you can, and then you're good to go. All right, and that's basically the route, honestly. You then pull Rack Tool and go about your day. This is the entire run. I did this on stream for the first time ever yesterday and had about 5 minutes left at the end of the run. It was a plus 16 and my group wasn't really that fucking crazy. So do of that information what you will. But I think this route is the most optimal park route, no matter what. You can pull this off on a plus 2, you can pull this off on a plus 12, you can pull this off on a plus 18 probably. You save so much time by dodging all of these big mobs like the Juggernauts and most of the Soul Renders and Defenders. I would really recommend you this route. If there is ever a better route in Maisara Caverns, I will use it, trust me. I hate this dungeon, but this route made it more bearable. If you want to know about hidden tricks in this season's dungeon pool, consider watching this video next. If you like this video and want to see more route guides like this, consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Also, I'm still live right now, so check me out if you want to. Anyways, I wish you all a great rest of the day, and I will see you in the next one.